Okay, so now that you know what career or field in general that you want to go to, you can start choosing out your colleges. Now, how do you do this? Well, first of all, you gotta ask yourself some key questions. You gotta ask, do I want to live in my home state, or am I trying to go out of state? Do I want to live with my parents, or do I want to live in a dorm? You can use tools online, like the College Board search thing is really awesome because they have like so many things that you can, like little options that you can do on it. I'll add the link down below. You're gonna have to be realistic about which colleges you can get into, and how do you do this? Well, if you have not taken the SATs yet, or the ACT, you want to take definitely the SAT at least 2 or 3 times. And I wouldn't take it more than 5 times because they might think you're a little bit crazy. You also maybe want to take one ACT just maybe because I recommend taking at least one prep course because that helped me like tremendously. And also take the PSATs if you're a junior. I know my school let us take them for free. It's kind of like a mock SAT, so you get the feels of it. Once you have your SAT scores, you can like put them in the little College Board calculator and start finding out which schools are reach schools, which schools are safety, and which ones you're probably going to get into. If it's like 100 points over your SAT score, you know that it's a reach school. But, you know, I would say maybe 3 or 4 reach schools, 2 safety schools, and the rest just, you know, you're probably going to get into these schools. You got to know what you want out of a school. You got to ask yourself what specific things, like really think about it, because you're going to be living at this place for 4 years, or maybe even more, depending. Are you a vegan or vegetarian? Do you want a special meal plan? Are you trying to cook and have an apartment in the dorms? Because some schools have dorms with no kitchen, just like a room. Some schools have apartments. Some schools, you know, just, you got to know these things. You also got to ask yourself if you want to do sports, if there's a specific sport you're looking for. Like, I want to do volleyball and water polo. What you're willing to compromise. I know most schools probably don't have water polo, so that's like, you know, an extra bonus. Are you trying to learn a specific language? Are you trying to study abroad? Because some schools won't have the language or study abroad program that you want. Now that you've composed your list of 10 schools, you have to start doing the basic things to start your application. Once you're a junior, maybe even start when you're a sophomore if you want to be one of those kids, I'd say summer junior year, definitely start writing your Common App application essay. commonapp.org. You go there, you make sure that you can remember your username and password, okay? Write it down somewhere, send yourself an email or something, don't lose it. And then you just, you read the topics that they'll give you. I don't know if they're going to change, sometimes they change. And you just choose one topic. Now make sure your application essay is very unique and interesting. You can literally write about anything you want. Don't write about something boring and annoying, okay? Because nobody wants to hear some boring story about how you think you're the king of the world and you're like, yes, I was in all the extracurriculars. I was a duck. Sorry, I have a duck. Anyway, just ignore the duck. Anyway, nobody wants to hear about how you're in 20 AP classes, how you're in all the... Maybe you can, like, sneak them in, but don't be obvious, because they know what you're trying to do, okay? You think you're smarter than them, but they're smarter than you. They've read, like, a million essays, so they know you're trying to be pretentious or not. So just be very genuine with your essay. Try to give them a feel of who you are. Try to think about some life-defining events that happened to you. And, like, just what is the thing that expresses you as a person. You can literally write about anything. There's people who have written about like TV shows from their little childhood. I read one about someone who wrote about their Converse sneakers that they took everywhere. Someone who wrote about like Winnie the Pooh. I personally wrote about my online gaming days in junior high and how that helped shape me as a person. Because I just felt like that was something that was a huge part of what made me so like nerdy and everything. So that's why I chose that. But every person is different. That's the beauty of essays. If you read it and you're totally bored, just no. Okay, and get a friend to read your essay for you, because your friend will give you the honest opinion. Now, a big mistake people make with their essay is that they try to get too emotional and they start crying. They're like, ugh, my whole life, nobody wants to hear your life story. So just make sure your essay is really, like, has no mistakes, because you don't want any mistakes in your essay. That's like the first thing you got to make sure. No grammar mistakes, no spelling mistakes, no mistakes. Some of your English teachers will grade yours. I know that my English teacher, um, she read it for us and gave us her honest opinion. So if your teacher will do that, take advantage of it, and also maybe get some of your friends to read it. Now, a big mistake I see people make all the time is that they'll put too much personal information on their essay. It's good to be vulnerable, but don't tell your whole life story. Remember, this is not a therapy session or a journal entry or diary entry. This is something that will um, portray your best self and give them a good sense of who you are, and like show the best side of you. Now, these are all things you can do in the late summer or early. You could probably do your essay in the summer, and then as soon as you start school, get your recommendations. Choose teachers who like you, who know you, and who you know will give you a good recommendation and knows who you are. I chose a business teacher, social studies teacher. Okay, some schools will require they be main subject teachers that you've had in the last 2 years, so make sure you know exactly what your choice schools want. Look at their policy. You probably want 2 or 3 recommendations from teachers. Maybe get 1 or 2 other recommendations from maybe a pastor, a sports coach, or just like a club advisor, someone that knows you, who you've worked with outside of school. Now, this is one thing I wish that I did, but I didn't do. If you search for colleges, usually you'll find one school that you just love, that has everything you want, and you would definitely say yes if you got accepted there. For me, that was Barnard/Columbia University, and I really wish I applied early decision, because people who applied early decision got their answer back already. But I didn't. I'm going to get it in April/March. That's when you get most of your notifications back. So make sure, if you have one good school that you definitely want to go to, that you submit early decision. Usually those are due in November-ish, so make sure that you get those done super early, like September. You probably want to get most of your applications done by November, because then you'll get like a fee waiver. Most schools will waive it if you do your application early enough. Because those applications can get expensive. But if you're like financially, you don't have a lot of money, then you can get your guidance counselor, to fill out an application fee waiver, and most schools will accept that, and you won't have to pay anything. I know I didn't pay anything for my college applications, because all of them accepted the fee waiver, so that was good. Saved me mad cash. Your SAT scores. Now, you're going to have to send these early, because it takes 2 weeks, around 2 weeks to process them. And, if the deadline, you think that you have still time, you don't still have time. So send those as soon as you can. I think they're like $11 each school you want to send them to. But if you're like really late, it costs like $20 to send them express. And you don't want to be sending anything express, okay? Okay. It is December/early January. All your applications are due. If you didn't send them in, your life is over. Well, no, it's not over. I'm just kidding. But you definitely want to finish it by November. And January is your last chance for rolling admission. So after that, you will use that time generally to fill out scholarships. So once you've submitted all your applications, you want to start on your FASFA. Make sure your parents fill out their taxes and get them back, like, maybe late January or early January, if they want to be proactive and everything. And then you will have to fill out your FASFA. And if you don't get them back, you can use your last year's FASFA, but as soon as you get your new taxes, you have to update it. Most colleges require you finish your FASFA application by early February. So make sure you do it around late January. If you're applying to any big schools, some of them will have what's called a College Board profile, and you will need to put in like extra information, like basically everything. and this is like a separate thing, and you have to pay money for that. But that's basically like private financially, that doesn't come from the government, it comes from the school and like other places. And that's basically everything. You're probably going to get a notification starting January, sometimes even earlier depending on when you submitted it. And your latest ones will be April through March. And then as soon as you decide which college you want to go to, I think there's a date, it's like March, no, it's May something it, that you have to send in your deposit. It's called the national reply date, I think. And by that time, you have to have chosen your college and sent out your deposit. Your deposit is to finalize everything, and that's the college you're choosing. End of story, end of game. And then just enjoy yourself at college, guys, because I'm going in the fall and I'm so excited. And I haven't gotten all my college stuff back, but I've gotten a few places back so far, and I'm really excited, and I'm hoping that my top 4 colleges accept me, because those are the places I really want to get into. So I wish you guys luck, and I hope you wish me luck. The next time I make a video, I'll probably be a college student, and I'll tell you guys where I got in. So, well, don't stalk me, but yeah, I'll tell you where I got into. See you guys later.